Hello and welcome to my topic summary about the Hungarian Uprising of 1956. So the background to this is, as you know, towards the end of the Second World War, the Soviet Union began to establish what became known as satellite states. One of these was Hungary. So when Soviet troops went into Hungary, they claimed that they were liberating it from the Nazis. But in 1949, Comintern imposed an oppressive regime on Hungary and began a reign of terror, executing political leaders and their supporters. Hungarian land came to be redistributed amongst other European countries, and Hungarian assets such as coal, oil, and wheat were shipped to Russia, while Hungarian citizens themselves were deprived of food. Non-communist political parties were abolished, and Russian officials essentially controlled the government, the police, and the army in Hungary. A man named Mátyás Rákosi was appointed as Hungary's dictator, and he was ruthless. Approximately 350,000 officials and intellectuals were purged between 1948 and 1956. It's estimated that at least 2,000 people were executed during his reign. However, in the Soviet Union itself, there's a new leader, Khrushchev, who announces a process of de-Stalinisation. This led to hopes of reform in Eastern Europe, and was in part reasons why there were then protests against Rákosi in Hungary in 1956. So these protests and riots erupt in Hungary over political freedoms and over shortages such as of fuel and of food. So Khrushchev decides to replace Rákosi as leader of Hungary with a man named Imre Nagy, and Khrushchev hoped that this appointment would end the protests. Nagy and his supporters wrongly believed that Khrushchev's criticism of Stalin would lead to a soft approach. Therefore, Nagy and his government announced that many reforms in Hungary would take place, which included ending the one-party state and leaving the Warsaw Pact. It also included the release of many political prisoners. Khrushchev could not allow this to happen, and 1,000 Soviet tanks rolled into the capital city of Budapest. Supporters of Nagy resisted this invasion, and some 20,000 people were killed. Nagy is replaced as leader of Hungary by a man named Kadar, and Nagy himself, along with some of his supporters, are executed. Now this does provoke an international reaction of sorts. So Nagy and his supporters had expected support from the USA and other Western countries. However, although President Eisenhower of the USA was sympathetic to the Hungarians, and some NATO nations also took in refugees from Hungary, no military aid was offered. So it was clear from this event that the USA was prepared to contain the spread of communism, but it would not interfere in an existing communist country. The result of all of this is that Khrushchev appears to be strong and decisive, and this makes his position within the USSR and the Warsaw Pact stronger. Eisenhower, on the other hand, appears weak because he did nothing to support the uprising. This whole event reflects badly on the West for not being prepared to back up their words with military action, and it's another sign or event in the increasing intensification of the Cold War. So if you found this topic summary useful, please check out some of my other videos on the topic of superpower relations and the Cold War. Thank you.